Let's talk discovery calls. You know that moment where you sat there with a prospect on the line and you're thinking, I'm either going to nail this or I'm going to blow it completely. And then you open with something brilliant like, so tell me about your business. Yeah, we've all been there. And look, if that's your go-to opener, we're going to need to have a chat. Discovery calls aren't just about gathering information. They're about building trust, uncovering real problems, and positioning yourself as someone who understands their goals and challenges. Today, I'm going to share 9 questions with you that will completely change how you go about these conversations. And here's the thing, these aren't just random questions that I pulled out of thin air. They're tested, they work, and most importantly, they'll help you have conversations that actually feel natural. Here's something that may surprise you. Nearly a quarter of salespeople say that discovery is the hardest part of their entire job. Think about it. You've got 30 minutes to build rapport with a complete stranger, understand their business, navigate office politics that you know nothing about, all while trying not to sound like you're reading off some telemarketing script. And you need to do all this while figuring out if they're actually a good fit for what you're selling. But the right questions are like having a roadmap. They don't just help you gather information, they do it in a way that makes the conversation feel normal and make your prospect feel understood. So let's dive into these 9 questions. But before we do that, remember that this isn't about memorizing a script. It's about understanding what's beneath these questions and finding a way to work them into a conversation that feels natural and gets you the information you need while putting your prospect at ease. Question number 1, walk me through how you're currently handling the problem. This is a conversation starter that actually works. Instead of the generic, tell me about your business, you're getting into things with something specific, something they're actually struggling with. And when someone starts explaining their current process, they're basically telling you exactly what's broken and what needs fixing. And here's the beautiful part, they're doing it themselves. You're not picking at things within their business, they're uncovering it for you. At Quilla, we ask about proposal creation all the time. And inevitably, we hear about the endless back and forth with PDFs that look like they were made in 1990, that don't give any buyer information, and don't help people stand out from the crowd. We've had people tell us that their proposal design is an absolute nightmare, and that's not us selling, that's them telling us exactly where we can help. Question number 2, how is this impacting your day-to-day operation? This is where you connect problems to real human pain. You're not just talking about abstract business issues anymore, you're talking about missed opportunities, late nights, and frustrated team members. The magic starts happening when you really start quantifying things, making them real. When someone tells us, for example, we spend 3 hours every day building proposals, that's a time sink that's costing them real opportunity. Suddenly, your solution isn't just a nice to have, it's a real genuine business need. Question 3, what would success look like if we could solve this? Here's something interesting. Most buyers don't feel like salespeople actually understand what they need, and this question flips that dynamic completely. You're not assuming that you know what success means to them. Maybe it's about time saving, maybe it's about looking more professional, or maybe it's about hitting specific revenue targets. You're letting them paint the picture for their ideal outcome. Question number 4, what's driving this priority right now? Timing is everything in sales. This question helps you understand not just what they want to achieve, but why it's a priority now. Are they preparing for a busy season? Is their CEO breathing down their neck talking about efficiency? Understanding the urgency helps you position your solution in the context of their immediate needs. Question number 5, what metrics would you use to measure success here? Everyone has numbers they're chasing down. Sales teams have close rates, marketing teams have conversion rates, and operation folks measure efficiency gains. When you understand what metrics matter to your prospects, suddenly you're speaking their language. Instead of talking about benefits, you're talking about measurable impact. Question number 6, what's the timeline for getting this sorted? This isn't just about forecasting your pipeline, although that's obviously important too. This question shows you how serious they are and where they are at in their decision-making process. Someone who says, we need this implemented next quarter, is in a very different headspace than someone who is just exploring their options. Your approach should reflect that difference. Question number 7, what would your ideal solution need to include? Now, you're getting into the specifics of what they're actually looking for. Are they prioritizing ease of use, security features, price? This question helps you understand their evaluation criteria before you've even started talking about your product. It's like getting the answers before taking the test. Question number 8, who else would need to be involved in making this decision? It's almost never just one person handling these kind of things. There's a budget holder, the end user, IT, legal, and doubtless that one person who always just wants to offer their opinion for no apparent reason. Instead of just asking, are you the decision maker? Which often puts people on the defensive, this question gets you the same information in a much more natural way. Question number 9, what challenges have you run into with similar purchases in the past? This is my favorite question because it shows maturity, but also genuine concern for their success. You're acknowledging that buying decisions are complicated and that you're here to help them navigate those complications. Maybe they've had issues with implementation timelines, with budget approvals, or getting buy-in from different departments. Whatever it is, knowing about potential roadblocks means that you can work them into your plan. Now here's the crucial part. How you ask these questions matters just as much as what you're asking. Start with the easier, less sensitive questions. Don't jump straight into pricing or buying decision-making processes. Build trust first. Listen more than you talk. Look, I know this sounds obvious, but we often get caught up so much in trying to prove what we know that we don't actually listen to what people are telling us. Be flexible. If their answer to question number 1 naturally leads you onto another topic, go down that avenue. The goal is a productive dialogue, not checking off boxes on a list. And finally, adapt to their communication style. If they're direct and business focused, then match that energy. And if they're more conversational and more relationship orientated, slow down. Build some rapport. You need to meet them where they're at so that they feel comfortable talking to you. Great sales conversations aren't about having all the answers. They're about asking the right questions. And these 9 questions will help you understand your prospects better, build rapport easier, and ultimately close more deals. If this was helpful, hit subscribe for more sales content that actually works. And if you want to see how Quilla can help you turn great discovery conversations into trackable, professional, presentable proposals that will set you apart from the competition, check out our 14-day free trial in the link in the comments below.